Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mary Sloan, and I am running a program called Facebook on Steroids. Facebook on Steroids is something that I am creating with Simeon Thomas and the people around here who are absolutely wonderful people to work with. And what it allows you to do is really absolutely kickstart your Facebook business into action. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that toward the end of the video, but I want to be able to show you and talk to you a little bit about how you can be successful on Facebook. Facebook, as we know, is a huge platform with 2 billion users worldwide, 1.2 billion of which come in every day. And that is one of the things that it causes people to really love Facebook. The other thing, of course, is that it allows people to get to know you, to like you, and to trust you, and to want to do business with you, avoiding the issue of cold calling. Now, there's lots of people that I work with who love cold calling and think it's the best way to go in the world. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with cold calling. It's great, and it's allowed people to build businesses successfully for a lot of years. But social media has a lot to recommend it. And Facebook in particular has a lot to recommend it. But to use Facebook, first of all, you have to decide that you are going into the content creation business, because it is your content that is going to draw people in and make them want to get to know you. I put up a Facebook page a long time ago all about quotes, and I can tell you I haven't touched it for about 4 years, and I still get new people finding it and liking it, and Facebook lets me know, which is kind of interesting. Maybe I should go back and visit it one of these days. But in any event, that's the power of good content. So we're going to talk about ways that you can get good content. And I want to welcome Stephen to the call. Thank you, Stephen, for joining me. And I'm going to be posting this, of course, in our Facebook group, Six Figures with Simeon Thomas. And that's going to be available on an ongoing basis for everybody to learn from. So I want to share my screen, and I want to talk about ways that you can get good content. So one of the things that I want to talk about, just have to figure out where my empty link is here. Okay. Facebook, Google, I want a link. Just a second here. I know what I've done. I haven't got my tab in the right place. Oh, goodness. There we go. That'll help. There we go. So this is Google. And Google is an amazing place to get content. We can get all kinds of content for our Facebook page here from Google. And I want to show you how you can, in fact, do that easily. So here is a image tab that allows you to change from Google search to Google image search. And there are a lot of different things that you can search for on the Google image search. One of the things that I want to look for is something called memes. And memes are nothing more than something kind of catchy that you might want to put out as a way of attracting and communicating with your visitors and the people who are getting to know you on your Facebook page. So as you can see here, I've got all kinds of memes that I could choose from. I've got memes with faces, just memes. I've got memes for 2018, 17, funny memes, and even a meme generator. But I suspect that's a piece of software which I'm not really interested in. So let's just, for the sake of having some fun, let's go for funny memes. Now, one of the things that you have to be careful of if you're going to curate content is you have to be careful that you're not curating content that somebody has decided is theirs and they're going to come after you. I can tell you that one of the worst places to ever get anything visual from, which is a shame because I have great visual, but Getty Images. If you see anything that is by Getty, don't go near it because they sue and they are very nasty and they have a huge foundation behind them and they make it stick. So one thing you never want to do is get a Getty image. I've been tempted on my, sometimes when I'm struggling for an image, they have a great one, but never, ever do that. Now, because I might want to actually do something and reuse this, I'm going to look for things that I can, by law and by permission, reuse with modification. So as you can see, things change because, of course, not all the memes that they initially brought to me had that right. But now I can fairly safely, and I say fairly safely, you have to understand that Google does this quickly and there's no person looking at it. And so there's not guaranteed that that rights are proper, but you can always kind of get a pretty good idea. So here's one that kind of amuses me. And so this is from Meme to Audio and Futurama Fry, and I'm going to guess that they're not too concerned. There's not a big thing here telling me how this is protected by copyright or anything on this area, and it's coming from Flickr, so it's probably pretty open. Now there's a couple of things that I can do here with this. I can click on it, or I can do this with my Jing. And often I do this with Jing just simply because it's fast and I don't have to click away and my job is done quickly. So I love Jing. It's a free app. Just look for jing.com and make sure you download from TechSmith. There's a lot of companies offering you downloads, and then it comes with a whole package that you don't want of things that they want you to take on with it. So make sure you look for TechSmith. They're the creators of this, and it's absolutely free. You can use it forever, and it's one of my very favorite tools. So I'm going to capture that image. And now that's kind of interesting meme. You see, I mean, it's got an interesting twist on it. You know, have you ever wondered if you're sexy or ugly and just ignoring it? Anyway, the point is that it makes people laugh or smile, and some people will like it enough that they will want to share it. Now, if you are doing memes and creating memes, and I'm going to show you how you can do that, you may want to brand it so that when people grab it, as they may, don't have any hesitation with that. You know, welcome the fact that they're going to share a link or some information about you and your business. So just find a way to put a little brand on it that lets people know that there is somebody behind this meme. And I sometimes use a little meme enhancer, and I'll show you how to do that here. So I'm going to say ugly, oops, or handsome, and I'm going to save that. And for now, I'm just going to save it to my desktop because it's a convenient place that I can find it quickly. And I'm going to kind of remember it because I want to use it again quickly. So ugly or handsome, and I'm going to save that. Now, of course, I could go to Facebook and I could paste that right away, but I'm actually not going to do that. I'm going to go to a little tool that I use. Oops, that's for videos, so I'm going to do that in a minute. I'm going to go to PicMonkey. Thought I had all my tabs prepared, but apparently not. And I'm going to bring that in on a background so that I can add a branding note to it. Now, PicMonkey is a tool that you can use for free. I have a paid version because it gives me access to more texts and more different types of formats. But there's a lot of PicMonkey that's absolutely for free, and you can use it and enjoy it. Of course, it takes a while because I'm inside here sharing my screen. So bear with us here. Oh, we got it thinking anyway. All right, so PicMonkey comes up with an image. There's all kinds of things that you can do here. You can crop, you can change the canvas color. Now I'm going to change the canvas color because, as I said, I want to bring that meme in and be able to brand it. And I don't particularly love white, so I prefer color. It's totally up to you. But I'm going to apply that. And then I'm going to resize this so that, in fact, when I bring something here, I will be able to use it usefully. And it gives me 800 by 530. I'm going to change the proportions and make it 800 by 800 as it's a square, and that's often good for memes. So that's what I like to do. You could go up to 1200 by 1200, and maybe I'll do that. Why not? Take up the full screen on Facebook. Here we go. All done. Now, because I want to save this, I'm going to go to here, which is overlays. And I'm going to bring up that meme from my computer where I just stashed it. And I'm going to go to desktop. And I think, if I recall, it was ugly. Yep, there we go. And I'm going to open that up. And now I have put my logo in to PicMonkey, and I'm going to just grab it because it's easy. You will have to do this kind of thing yourself, so you'll have to create a logo, etc. But because I have it, and I'm now in overlays, I'm going to grab it from my hub. This is something that you have to have a paid account for, and as I said, you really don't need it, so don't worry about it. You can do it perfectly well pulling it from your desktop as well. So obviously I don't want anything that big. I want it down here, and probably up there. I in that space. Okay, and I'm just going to crop that green out of there because I don't need it. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually collapse all this together so that it doesn't separate on me. Okay, and I'm going to just simply cut that off. So I'm going to go to crop. And I'm going to just take this image. And I'm going to hit apply. Okay, so now I've got some branding on it, and I can go post it on Facebook. So how do I do that? I export it. And of course, I started out with that PicMonkey sample, so I'm going to do meme, ugly, handsome, and I'm going to save that. And sometimes that export to my computer doesn't work. I'm not sure why, but when that happens, I just go here, and I have to then, of course, make sure that I'm going to put it somewhere where I know where it is, desktop. And I have to rename it because they just called it a download. Well, that's not very helpful. Okay, so there we go. Now we've got a meme that we can paste on Facebook. And you know where you can get them. You can get lots of them there. Just make sure that they are not copyrighted. Make sure you have the right usage rights. And go ahead and paste them up. Now, you can do exactly the same thing with, and I'm just going to pull back down here. Go back to Google. So you can do exactly the same thing with quotes. So instead of memes, I'm going to do quotes. And what kind of quotes about love, quotes funny? Oh, let's go with the funny. We've been doing funny all day. Why not? Okay, so let's try funny. And we hit the search bar. Again, you have to make sure, now this time, yeah, it's labeled for reuse with modification because I'd already put that in there. So these are, now I like this one, and I like it, and I don't think it's necessarily funny. I think it's great. It's Flickr, so I know that there's no problem. And I can do the same thing. Oh, where's my Zoom gone? There it is. Come back. I need you up at the top where I can use you. All right, capture. There we go. Now you see that there's a little branding on this, which is fine. I like that because then you know that the person who's branded it is going to be happy that you're using it. And you can add your branding as well. I'm not going to take and do that again because you've seen how I did it with a meme. And you can do the same thing with a quote. And when you post, particularly a quote, you might want to talk about how that makes you feel, or what you see it says, or why you liked that quote, or something that brands it for you, because we are using other people's content, which is called curation. But if you start to brand yourself by letting people know what you think, what you feel, then all of a sudden that branded content is something that they can attach to you and start to get to know you. And the whole thing about social media is that we need to get to know you, like you, and trust you. That's what's essential here. So I'm going to label this quote, fear is thief. So now I know what the basic gist of that is. I'll probably find it again. I'll find it in quotes. So there you are. That's how hard it is to create content. Now, I'm going to go back to Facebook, and I'm going to, I just have to get this out of here. Okay, there's where, okay, so I'm going to just go back into the six-figure income group, and I'm going to add a post, and I'll add a video to it, a picture to it. So the post is, okay, so desktop, and my meme was ugly or handsome. I open that up. Now I've got a well-curated post. As soon as that comes up and Facebook tells me it's all there, I can post it. So now you have added content that's going to, you know, cause people to think about it or contemplate what it means or whatever. Sorry, I forgot to turn my phone off again. Oh gosh. Anyway, we'll just ignore it. And so that's how we do that. Now, one of the things that I did want to talk about was video curation, because that's where things can get a little bit trickier. So I found a post on video curation that I thought was quite helpful. Now, I shouldn't say video curation is hard. Oh my gosh, there's a billion YouTube videos, and you can find YouTube videos on almost anything, and you can share them. That's the whole point. People put them up there to be shared. If they don't want them shared, they keep them private, or they keep them, you know, away from the public. But most people want them shared. They've got lots of markings on them to indicate where they came from and stuff. So if you need content, don't hesitate to go to YouTube. But I was trying to find something that was a little more interesting or a little different, because people always go to YouTube, and it's nice to do something that's a little different. So I thought these were some good ideas that you could use for curating. And so, you know, encourage people to submit their own videos, and or ask them to point you to links online to where their videos reside. And that way, as this writer says, I require people to provide me with their own description of the video, some background info if it's their original work, or something they were involved in, and what they consider to be its relevance to my audience. I also recommend providing an incentive, such as a backlink or special mention, at least. So that's one of the ways that you can get content. Maybe some of your friends, if you're network marketing, they might be happy to put up a video for you and comment on it, and you can do the same for them, etc., etc. Give people pointers on what video submissions you're looking for. consider investing in a UGC platform. So there are platforms out there that make it easy for you to find content and to curate it, but there are always price tags with that. Be sure to give credit. Always acknowledge. That's the point of curation. Now, although I curated content, I either expected on the memes and the quotes that somebody would have branded it if they were concerned about getting credit. And if they didn't brand it, I don't know how to brand for them. So I can't do that. But in any event, if you've got articles and things from blogs, make sure that there's links back to it so that people can find where the original article came from in our video. Provide a comment section. Well, that goes without saying on Facebook. And there are just some video curation platforms here. And then there were more video curation tips. And this gentleman has made a whole practice out of video curation. So if you are interested in more information, because I was using his work a little bit, I thought I'd say that he has a book on curation called Curation Nation by Steve Rosenbaum. I'm sure you'll find it on Amazon. I have no idea whether or not he is published anywhere else. But anyway, those were just some ideas on video curation. And then I wanted to go and show you where you can do original videos. And I just have to arrange my screen so that I can find where it is. And this is a free service put out by Adobe. And it's called Adobe, well, spark.adobe.com. You can find it if you just look around. And so you can, you know, get pages of information. You know, you can put things up on their pages. You can also use social posts and graphics, so you can make them up here if you want. But the only thing I want is a video. And so I'm going to skip this simply because I've used Spark before. But well, let's not do it that way. Let's do it there, because it's kind of every great story starts somewhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use those two little pictures that I use, because I know they need some images. They'll offer some images. But my story is going to be creating content without creating it yourself. Okay. And so then they have a story template, promote an idea, tell what happened. A hero's journey is always good. But I'm just going to do something show and tell, because I want it to be really quite short. Now they have little comments going through. Spark has great fun with this. Okay, so here are some quick tips to get started. And they tell you, get started by adding video, photo, or text. So I'm not going to play the video, but you can play it as you go through. And what I know is that they offer you a couple of different ways of using their content and using their services. And you've got space for video, text, a photo you can pull in, or icons you can use. I'm going to use full screen. And I'm going to use a photo. And I can find free photos. I can look at Adobe Stock, where of course it's going to be priced. I may go to my Dropbox. I do have a lot of art pictures in Dropbox. But of course, I, in this case, simply will upload one. But you might want to take a look at their free photos. You know, honey quotes. Let's see if they have anything about that. Oh, look, they already did the work for you. So, you know, instead of having to go bring in my own, I can just pick one of these. Isn't that fun? All right. So there's my first image and what it is. So this is a video on curation. All right. And where do I save that? And how long do I want it on? Okay. So they've got that in place. All right, so now I'm going to put up another full screen. And I'm going to add another photo. And I'm going to see what kind of memes they have. Do they have funny memes? And I'm not sure that there's a huge difference always between memes and quotes, except quotes usually have, now this would be a great image for a meme. And you can see it's free. And I can edit it. So I want to make it smaller. Oops. And can I add some text? Yes, it can. Oops. No, it doesn't let me. Oh dear. I'm not sure why it doesn't let me. Anyway, we'll have to deal with that and talk about the fact that it was something that we intended to make out of meme, but it wouldn't let us put text on it. So now we'll bring in so you can see what it is to bring in your own photo. So I'll upload a photo. So we did a quote, no, a meme, ugly or handsome. So we can bring that up. There we go. And I want that to show for longer because, of course, it's such a great meme. And I can shrink it. Oops. Where'd it go? That's too much out. Oh, just a sec. All right, there it is. Now maybe I want to take that out. There we go. And it's there. And then they give you another one. The end. Okay, and now we can add some music. Just a sec, I need to see if I can shrink that. There we go, now you can read it. And got some music. And they've got, you could pick your own music, or you can choose some of theirs. Oops. And of course, you've got themes to choose from. All of this is available to you, and you can have lots of fun playing with this. There you go. You can add flair, you can do different things to it. And of course, if you don't want their branding on it, you can go ahead and take it off. They've got a way that allows you to do that. You can share it, you can download it. So this becomes your video, and you can do anything that you'd like with it. So they prepare the video for download, and now you can take it off and you can put it on your own site. So with a little work, you can easily create a cute video that will absolutely be your own creation and doesn't require that you actually appear on camera either. So if that appeals to you, that's a great way. And there's lots more to do with it. I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time on Adobe Spark, simply because there's so much fun for you if you go and learn how to do it for yourself. So those are what I wanted to talk to you about in terms of how to go and find and use various tools, all of which are free, to start creating great content. Now, I told you at the beginning that I'm starting a new project called Facebook on Steroids, and I'm working on this with Simeon and the team, and we'll have details for you shortly, but really it's going to be a service where we do some or all of this, and of course we're going to be adding the ability for you to advertise, because that's how you will in fact start to attract people. You want content so that there's the ability for people to share your great content, and you also want great content so that people will talk about it and share it with their friends. But you are going to need to start the process with ads, and you may want to keep the ads running, because it's I just find Facebook such a great place to advertise. The ads are relatively inexpensive. If you get something that's got a viral nature for it, boy, you can do a whole lot on a relatively small budget. But we'll be talking more to you about that and explaining how you can avail yourself of that service if it's of interest to you. So with that, I'm going to ask Stephen if he has any questions. Stephen, if you want to unmute your mic, or oh, great, you've got to ask. Oh, I want to show this. Okay, just a sec. I'm going to go see what this does. Stephen was good enough to put in a plug for content curation. So let's go see what he had to share with us. Oh, it looks great. All right. Let's go see if I can share my screen again. Thanks, Stephen, for this. This is great. All right. So here's some more material that Stephen has made us aware of. It looks like this is something where you can come and advertise if you're interested. You can also perhaps get things that you can curate. I mean, it looks like there's a lot of amazing content here. And so this may in fact be something that you want to avail yourself of. You'll have to decide if it's the right kind of content for you, but it certainly looks like there's a lot of great content here. And it even talks about one of my favorite tools, PicMonkey. I love it. Anyway, so thank you for that, Stephen. This is gulfcoast.stream. If you want to be able to come and have a look through this yourself. And it looks like there's all kinds of things. I know I'm going to come back and spend a little bit of time here. So I certainly appreciate that. Thank you, Stephen. And is there anything you'd like to say? I see you have a mic and I see you're unmuted. We'd love to have you say something if you want.
Hey, Mary, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Stephen. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you, too. This has been a great little course. You know, I work in video, and I've heard of Adobe Spark, but I haven't ever taken the time to just kind of sit through and watch something. So that was pretty interesting.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Yeah, it's a fun little program. I haven't been in there for a little while, and so I was rusty. Like everything else, you have to do it all the time. But it's great because it's free, and they've got all kinds of different things that you can do with it. So for people who want to try their hand at doing their own video, I think it's a great tool to just know that you can do that and have a video in a few minutes.
Absolutely.
Anyway, tell me more about this Gulf Coast.stream post. What?
Okay. Basically, Gulf Coast.stream is a new website that we've launched that is focused on promoting coast creatives and showcasing completed projects. There's a number of filmmakers along the Gulf Coast, and we facilitate Texas through Florida, and we wanted a hub so that you could go and watch their content. And, you know, it kind of expanded out from just filmmakers into YouTube and television. And I have a broadcast career of 6 years. I've been doing video since I was 16 years old shooting weddings. So what we ended up doing was we started including, you know, the YouTubers and the television shows. So now we have, as of today, we have 21 content providers.
Oh, wow.
Yep. They all feed content into the website. And, you know, if you go to like our outdoor section, let me break it down to how we kind of facilitate, because you're talking about curation. Curation is a fantastic thing, but for someone like us, we also have to have some kind of content that we generate and that holds our clients and our customers' attention. And the question is, who is our customer? So we facilitate promoting filmmakers and content creators. Our customer is not the kid who goes down to Best Buy and buys the $500 DSLR and wants to go create YouTube videos. Our customer is actually the guy who works at the shipbuilding or the oil refinery that, you know, brings home $1,000 a week and wants to watch hunting videos and fishing videos. We want to work with that kid who went out and bought the camera, but the people we want watching our content are the people who are going to buy the products that we help advertise. So I'll tell you what, go to the outdoor section. Let me help you with that.
Oh, I got it. Here we go. We just have to wait for it.
Not a problem.
Inside the sharing screen, it isn't very fast, but anyway.
Oh, that's okay. Well, the things that you'll be greeted with is the brown bag tournament with Mike Sally of Sure Shot Fishing Charters. Let me go ahead and tell you guys about that first. So one of our first premier projects was a show called Charter Kings. That is content that we created, that we went out and found sponsors, and we did the whole shish kabang, and we're still doing it. If you go to our Facebook page, you know, facebook.com/gulfcoast.stream, if you find those videos, like and share. We're actually going to be picking 3 winners to bring a friend on a red snapper fishing trip this year, limited to Gulf Coast residents. We're not flying anybody from Seattle. But if you come down here, we'll put you on a boat. Next to it is Duck Hunting Catatula Lake. I probably mispronounced that name. That's the guy from YouTube, but he also has a TV series. And then if you scroll down, we've got a couple of featured videos of guys who've done like a good job. Down below, you have a follow us for our social media. And for some reason, like those numbers aren't correct. For some reason, our social media counter has been wonky since the latest update. We have a section for Charter Kings, last 3 episodes. Fish Mavericks, which is a national television series I've worked on in the past. It was on the Hero channel this previous season, but we're supposed to be going to Discovery Channel this upcoming season. So I'm really looking forward to that.
That'd be great.
Oh, yeah, yeah. We have Mississippi Outdoors. We have The Fisherman's Guide. It's another series I've worked on. We have Scotty DTV. He's a YouTuber who travels around and like interviews people about cars and showcases just awesome machines. I love the guy's personality, and he always comes down to cruising the coast on the Gulf Coast. So we went ahead and threw him up. He was one of our earliest content helpers. And Trigger Time TV, which is gun related. I know that's not everybody's cup of tea, but I've worked on and off of that show for the last probably 4 years. And so we wanted to throw that up there too. And it's a national show with a really good following. So that's kind of how the site breaks down for outdoors. This is our latest update to the website in this category. If you click on something like, let's go to food. Okay, let me give you an example. If you click on food, oh yeah, Russ Jones is a fantastic guy. So under the food section, if you click the link up there, you'll see that when it does come up, it is just, if you go to the word food and click on the word food.
Yeah, I've done that. It's coming.
Gotcha. So yeah, what you see is just a list of videos and recipes, and that was the old way of doing it. It's not effective. You know, we have some sponsors over to the right. What everything's going to be is we're gonna make it look nice and present it nice like the outdoors page, but we've got a big update coming, and when we do this, we try to do it all at once versus a little bit at a time. That way we don't have any content missing for a while on the site. But yeah, that's the general breakdown. We basically have 4 or 5 categories that we source content from other creators, and then we create our own content to kind of keep people and make our own profits. But yeah, that's Gulf Coast Stream in a nutshell.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming on and sharing that with us. I really appreciate that. And I have an idea, we won't talk here, but that might allow you to even offer your prizes to even us folks up here in the Northwest, but we'll talk about that.
Hey, that sounds great.
Okay, well, I'm going to say thank you so much, and I'm going to cut things off here and get this posted as soon as I can. And